Hello, this is Simone, your English language specialist for international doctors. In this video, we're going to talk about the most important sound in American English. The name of this sound is the schwa, and it's represented by an upside down E. You see, the schwa plays an integral part in the holistic step of improving spoken English. Here's some fun facts about the schwa. The schwa is the most common vowel sound in English. You know, you can be very lazy and still produce this sound. All that's required is to engage the vocal cords. No other articulators are needed. It's just the sound uh. It's like the filler sound when you're trying to think of a word. In the dictionary, it's represented by an upside down E, like this. When you see the two slashes, that's the IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet symbol. Another fun fact is that any written vowel can be pronounced as the schwa, the sound. Amazing, tenacious, replicate, percolate, supply, syringe. That's a written A, E, I, O, U, and even Y coming out as that schwa sound, that sound in spoken English. Now, that's difficult for second language learners to understand, but it's very natural for Americans. But I have to tell you, because we use the schwa so much, sometimes that's what makes it difficult for Americans to spell. I know that's my case anyway. That's why I make a lot of spelling mistakes. Remember, I said the schwa is a really integral part to the holistic step of spoken English modification. So this first step, as you see, is not about speaking at all. You need to be able to hear the special music of American English. And so once you can listen like an American, you'll understand what their expectations are in your spoken English. You are an advanced or maybe even superior level English speaker, but you still hear this sometimes. You need to speak more clearly. I mean, what does that even mean? More clearly? I'm going to bet that 9 times out of 10 for you, for the advanced, for the superior English speaker, 9 times out of 10, it's a stress difference. So what do I mean by a stress difference? It's when you have stressed a syllable or a word differently than an American listener is expecting. You see, it's all about familiar stress patterns that American listeners are expecting. That is where our understanding hangs, on that stress pattern. If you deviate from that pattern, it's like looking at something out of focus. Like if I take off my glasses, I can kind of see the screen here. I can make it out, but it does take some effort. It's the same way with your listeners. They'll be able to figure out what you're saying eventually, but it will take them some more effort. It takes that same mental gymnastics for an American listener to figure out what you're trying to say when you stress the wrong or meaning a different syllable than what they are expecting. So let's look at the 3 types of stress. Here's some important information to understand when it comes to syllable stress. First of all, the only sound that can be stressed is a vowel. A vowel is the only letter that can be stressed. So there will be one vowel in each word that's longer in duration and stronger than the other vowels. Longer and stronger. So many language learners feel like they are stressing. So I used to teach this like just stress. You need to stress, but they felt like they were already stressing. But the problem is there was not enough difference between the stressed and unstressed syllables. So they were stressing where there was a difference of this much, but I needed it to be this much. You know, you need to pop it. You need to pop the stressed syllable, and that's what makes it clear when you pop the stressed syllable. And that's why the schwa is the most important sound in American English. So a syllable that contains the schwa allows the one stressed vowel to really shine, to really pop. And that's why I say it's the most important sound in American English. So a vowel will have one of three levels of stress. It's either the primary stressed vowel, so if a word has one syllable, of course, it's primary stressed. But if it has more than one syllable, you're going to have one primary stressed and then another level of stress for the other syllable or syllables. You'll have a secondary stressed vowel, which means that you're pronouncing the vowel, but not as long or strong as the primary stressed vowel. And then also that third level are vowels pronounced with the schwa sound, the sound. We'll say that's unstressed. So we have primary stressed, secondary stressed, and unstressed syllables.
So in this exercise, we're going to look at these words and try to hear those three levels of stress: the primary stress, the secondary stress, and the unstress. So the first word is metaphor. Metaphor. So the primary stress is the E, the first E. Metaphor. You hear that T goes down to the flap D. Do you hear that? Metaphor. Metaphor. And so the schwa is this A. So this A goes down to the sound, and the or, that is like secondary stress, okay? Metaphor. 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 Can you hear where that really pops now? Metaphor. Okay, let's look at the next one. Competent. Competent. So again, the first syllable here is stressed. So the O is stressed, but then, listen, competent. We've got two schwas here. Competent, 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 competent. Can you see how it really pops out that O sound, that ah sound? Okay, so the next one, it's delegate. Delegate. Again, we have the first syllable stressed. Delegate. 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 Now, it could be delegate is actually the verb form. So if it was the noun form, a person is a delegate. In that case, this A would also be a schwa. Delegate. Delegate. Delegate, to delegate something, or someone is a delegate. Okay, so two different pronunciations depending if it's a verb or a noun. Okay, exodus. Exodus. So we have this E is the is the primary stress, and then we have a schwa sound here and a schwa sound here. Exodus. 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 Okay, let's look at this one. Ability. Ability. So where is the primary stress? Ability, not in the, it's not the first vowel, it's the second one. So it's the first I. Ability. So here's a schwa. And this I is also goes down to a schwa. And don't forget the Y, that's also a vowel sound, but it's an E sound, so that's a secondary stress. And listen also how this T goes down to the fast D sound. Ability, ability, ability. ability, ability. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Activity, activity, activity. So here we have the primary stressed vowel is that first I. And now, is this a schwa? Activity. No, this is not, because it's not activity, it's not it's ac. So it's a secondary stressed vowel. Activity, right? So then this T goes down to a fast D. Activity, and the Y is also secondary stress. Activity, activity, activity. Okay, let's look at the next one. Chemical, chemical, chemical. So here the first vowel is stressed. Chemical, chemical. If you try to say chemical, then it's not allowing that first syllable to really pop. Chemical, chemical. Okay, and this one's similar. Clerical, clerical, clerical. So this ER is air, air. It's that R diphthong, air, air, clerical, clerical, clerical. Okay, let's go to the next one. Try to start thinking about it in your mind. Okay, and this T goes down to a fast D. Per, so this is that R vowel sound. Personality. 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 He's got a great personality. Okay, here's another one. What is the primary vowel? We got a whole bunch of them here. Statistical, 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 statistical. You see how that works? It really allows that primary stressed vowel to really pop out. So let's go to the next slide and we'll see what it looks like. So here's the same words. I'm just showing you where the bold is where the primary stress is, and then you'll see the schwas. Metaphor, metaphor. Do it with me. Metaphor. Like really pop that one and like clap your hands on the bold. Metaphor, metaphor. Competent, competent. Delegate, delegate. Exodus, exodus. Ability, ability. Activity, activity. Chemical, chemical. Clerical, clerical. Personality, personality. Statistical, statistical. Okay, so that's these words. I hope you can start to hear the 3 levels of stress: primary, secondary, and unstressed.
Now it's your turn to guess the schwa. So this exercise will strengthen your ability to hear this all-important sound. So when you learn what to listen for, you'll hear it everywhere. And using that schwa sound to make an unstressed syllable, it will help you make the stressed syllable really pop. So your spoken English will become clearer to the American listener. So remember, you're using your mind's ear and your own pronunciation. Don't go and get pronunciation samples from anywhere. You need to figure out what's going on in your mind's ear and in your pronunciation so that you can get better and better. And once you have guessed the schwa, then you can check it with the dictionary or Youglish or a native speaker and see if your predictions match the actual pronunciation of a Native American speaker.